are graduating degrees from the Southland. They're choosing a legacy over the logos overall. So with that said, best of luck on the 2026 season. I'll be around all day today. Looking forward to taking some questions now if anyone has any. But thank you for being here. Safe travels to those. We can talk to you before you go. And again, go Southland Conference. Thanks, Shasta. So we'll start with our roundtable, coaches roundtable at 9:10 a.m. here on stage. That first roundtable would include UTRGV, Nichols, Southeastern Louisiana, East Texas, and Northwestern State.
Kids are on there. Let's go.
That's why he didn't come. He's like, no, you leave today. These kids running all over. No. How old are they now? 5.5 months, 6 months.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2026 Southland Conference Football Opening Drive Media Day. I am your host, Austin Ivan. This is our first roundtable of today. We're going to hear from all the coaches throughout the day. But coaches, this is an opportunity to have a conversation. I want to talk about where the Southland Conference is at now, where it's headed, NIL, recruiting, all things that come with your responsibility and job. So I'll ask a question to a coach specifically, but I want everyone to chime in if you guys want to add something to what you hear today. I'll start with Coach Selfo, and I want to know for you, what makes a game day at Southeastern unique?
We've got a good crowd. You know, Strawberry Stadium's a unique place. It's an older stadium, probably the oldest in the conference maybe. We've got good tents. We've got good fan attendance. I think our tailgate is outstanding. But I think when you go around our conference, there's so many good places to go to. And I haven't been to UTRGV yet, and I talked to Coach Bush. I said, I'm looking forward to it because all I've heard is the crowd support, the fans, the people there, the passion that they have. And that's another element that they're bringing into the conference that I think it just enhances who we are. And I love this conference. I think it's very competitive week in and week out. And for us to have the ability to do that and travel around and see all the things in this area, because it is, like Chris talks about, just a bus conference. I think it makes us unique from that standpoint.
Yeah, Coach Bush, for you, it was definitely an advantage when you guys had home games. Talk about that experience for you in this past year.
It's just been phenomenal, and growing up down there and just understanding the passion for football. And I remember saying it 3 years ago. I don't think there's a better place in the country to start a football program than down there. And then, to have the game sold out a year before our first ball game. They're sold out again for the season next year. The waiting list is up to 15,000 for tickets. It's just the passion is crazy, and they're phenomenal. They show up. They give the opponents heck on the sideline, but they love us. It's been great so far. But like he said, I played in the Southland, coached in the Southland years ago, and love it, and love the community, the stadium, the fan bases, and it's a neat atmosphere, and we love getting on the road as well. And it's tough to play on the road in this conference, but to get around to see the stadiums and the people and the fans, it's a great conference.
I want to hear from maybe one other coach talking about the passion when you guys get to see and hear about the tailgating, the fans. What makes your university special?
Yeah, I think down in Thibodaux, you know how important football is in South Louisiana. You got guys out 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. They're cooking, they're drinking, they're ready to go for the game. And, we added back our walk through the fans before the game, and it's just a great environment. It's great for our players. A lot of our players are from that area. They're from that region, and so we get a lot of the same supporters that watched them play in high school come out, watch them play on Saturdays.
Turning to the page to being here at coaching school, we are among so many high school coaches, and there is so much talent in the state of Texas and Louisiana. I want to know from you guys why you think this is important to have an event like this here, and how important is high school recruiting in this day and age of college football now?
Well, for me, being from Texas, obviously Texas football, I consider it the king, of all the states around. I mean, I'm sure there's some arguments with Florida and California and those, but just being here, growing up here, making the relationships, I thought it was a genius move by the Southland Conference to make Media Day here a couple years ago, to get to go out and, especially for the Louisiana schools, I know that's a little bit of travel for them, but to get out and mingle with these Texas schools, and it's hard. It's really hard now. We talked about high school kids getting involved with Division I football now. It's tough to take them. It really is. And we talk to all the coaches. We go around and let them know, and they understand that too, that it's really tough with the portal now, that you've got to go get a team to be competitive. And, we saw how competitive our conference is right now with 3 teams making it to the playoffs. So it's very important to go out and get talent right away. We talk to the high school coaches here. They understand that it's kind of a waiting list. I mean, honestly, I went JUCO route. I would push a lot of guys to go play at smaller levels, get noticed, and then we bring them up and then go make some money.
Yeah, Clint, I agree. There's a lot of really good high school football in Texas, but per capita, there's no more passion and talent than in the state of Louisiana, and I think Frank and Tommy would both agree with me on that. So
Appreciate, man.
we are glad that they finally did put our hotel on Louisiana Avenue there, Frank, so we are getting closer. And, yes, we're in northwestern Louisiana. We're an hour from the Texas line. So, sure, we recruit East Texas a lot, and I've got about 30 guys on my roster from East Texas, and that's very important. But I'm also going to have close to 30 with a 318 area code, and then over 70 from the state of Louisiana this fall. So, yes, it's great in Texas, but we're not going to back down to that here, guys, and just take that. So we're awful proud of what we do in the state of Louisiana. And per capita, I think for the last 40 years, we've had more players in the NFL than any state in the country, and we're awful proud of that.
Coach Selfo, for you, how has everything evolved with now you're having to make a new roster every single year, construct who you're bringing in? Where is your philosophy when it comes to recruiting the high school kids, wanting to develop young talent?
We haven't changed. We're a big high school recruiting team. We'll take a few guys every year to put them to bring them into our program that need to be able to play right off the bat, like Clint was talking about. But at the end of the day, our development is where we make our bones, and we signed more than anybody else in our conference. I think we signed 28 this year, high school kids. We're going to continue to do that, and we grow those guys up. We might lose them after 3 years, 4 years, but that's the nature of the beast right now, and we're going to continue to do that. We just feel like, and I agree with what Coach was talking about as far as Louisiana, we're the furthest school away from the state of Texas. We don't recruit much over here. We do have some kids from Texas, but the majority of our guys come from Louisiana and southeast Louisiana. I made that commitment when I got to the state, when I got to Southeastern. So high school recruiting is our lifeblood. That's what we do. We're going to continue to do that, and we'll supplement our team with the transfer portal, but the majority of our guys are going to come from high school, and they'll continue to do so.
Coach Bush, for you, how important are those relationships with the high school coaches?
Without a doubt, we're fortunate to have one of the best in the state on our staff. And, of course, growing up, father was a high school coach for over 40 years in the THSC Hall of Honor. I coached high school for several years, and big for us to come here, keep up those relationships. We recruit high school as well. We're still a little different. We're still, we took 75 high school guys our first year. We obviously had to tailor that down a little bit, but we've had to take some older guys to balance out our roster. But we're going to continue to take high school young men and really develop those. And but can't say enough. Great football in Louisiana as well. I've recruited that state before at other places, but definitely our whole conference is just a hotbed for great high school football. And it's great to have it here.
Between NIL, the portal, there's so much that has drastically changed over the last 5 years. Coach Rybacke, for you, what's the biggest difference when you think back to maybe just 5 years ago to today?
Yeah, It has definitely changed a lot. It's changed with how you build your roster. There's so much more strategy involved. People can take different approaches. Everybody can take, their own unique approach, whatever fits their university, their profile, and try and build the best team that they can. We're talking about high school recruiting, and that's the approach that we've taken, is building a strong high school foundation of players from Louisiana. I know Coach Frank talked about signing high school players. Nobody has more players from the state of Louisiana than Nichols on their roster. That's what we're going to do every year, even in the age of the NIL and the expanded rosters. It's just now everybody has a different approach in whether they're going to take a transfer student or go and sign more high school players.
A few more minutes here. I want to know from you guys now, when we think about coaching and the leadership that comes with it. For you, Coach McCorkle, what's the biggest thing that this profession has taught you?
Well, this profession raised me, and I've said that here before. I'm 50 years old this year. I've been in college football for 50 years. Growing up the son of a college football coach, this is the only lifestyle I know. So anything good or bad about me has come from this game. And I think that, college football is the greatest microcosm of what life truly is that you can find in society, because everything that our guys do, coming from such drastic demographics within a locker room to the adversity that you face going throughout the season to the things that you learn on game day, there's nothing like it anywhere in the world, and I've said before time and time again, I believe that God puts a calling on everybody's life, whether you believe that or not, and everybody comes to that at a different stage in their life. Well, I believe that mine is to grow young men, and I love this game with all of my heart, and if I can combine those two things to grow young men through this game, it's just a wonderful thing, and we're all so blessed to be in this profession. And none of us have a job. We have a calling. We have an opportunity to speak into young people. And I've never worked a day in my life, and I never plan to. I can't fathom doing anything but this. And the lessons that I get to speak into these young men that I have here with me today, and the other 103 back in Natchitoches, they get me up every morning. It's a blessing just to be around them and watch them grow and learn and become who God called them to be.
Coach Dalzell, I'm going to start with you, and then I want to go down the line and have all of you guys answer this one. Finish the statement for me. Southland football is blank.
Competitive. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think every year you're going to have this, and I know I'm going more than one word here, but, I would be shocked if for the next 10 years if somebody just clean sweeps the conference and wins. I think there'll be one or two losses. I just think that's how competitive our conference is, and we showed that this year with 3 teams getting in.
Exciting. I mean, you show up at one of our games, you're going to have a hell of a time. I mean, there's stuff that's taking place both sides of the football at all times. We've got a lot of talent in this league. I think where we might be a little diluted because of the number of schools that are located in this area, Texas, Louisiana, FBS on down. But for the most part, man, we got some exciting players on every ball club. And you go through this conference and see that. So I appreciate being on the sideline sometimes, looking at our opponent and seeing some of those guys, especially through film work, and then watching them go at the end of during the course of the game.
Definitely agree with those. I believe it's on the rise as well. I mean, us joining in recently, but just again the competitiveness, the teams. I think you'll continue to see multiple teams in the playoffs in this conference. But just the vision of Chris and where they want to go. It's just I think it's an exciting time to be a part of the Southland. It's looking forward to see where it goes.
Yeah, I would say it's tough. It's gritty. I mean, you look around the league, you got tough coaches, you got tough players. It's a gritty game every week, week in, week out. And I think that's why you see so much parity in our league is teams are not just, somebody comes in with a good record, they're not just bowing down. You got a tough, gritty league with a ton of competitive players.
Yeah, Tommy took it right from me. I was going to say tough. The Southland Conference is tough, and I've been fortunate to coach in, I think, 5 different FCS conferences, and they're all uniquely different in their own way, and there's a lot of good FCS football out there. But the week in, week out physicality, toughness, grit, Tommy said, the competitiveness of it is kind of unlike any in the country, and I think that's what makes it unique is week in, week out, somebody's getting hit, and it's going to be physical, and it's going to be a fist fight, and I think that's what gives us a really exciting league.
You guys have me excited for football season. I really appreciate all the insight. Thank you so much. It's a busy day. You guys aren't done. We're going to catch you all at some point later on in the desk, but thank you so much for joining us for this first roundtable of the day. We have a lot more coming up here on the Southland Conference Media Days opening drive, so stick with us.